As a tie-in with the change in behavior, the rewards for continuous operations, such as continuous production of energy, being biofuels, solar panels, wind farms, and people setting up these in their local areas could be rewarded. We found that government funding on recycling and no privatization of recycling firms is detrimental to people actually using these. We thought about getting offshore countries outside of the EU to produce energy, but we thought that it would be better to focus less on the economy and more on the environment. So we're really pushing to get less about money and more about really just pushing this development in the production of energy. We could also change some laws about the environment to really bring across a big change without having to swap funds from other places.
You said that you want to focus more on the environment and less on the money, but actually we're going through times of crisis, so don't you think that we should maintain all our actions to get out of this crisis?
We also voted on that, and we came to the conclusion that we want to find a balance between funding these things so we can have long-term development, but also keeping money in the side of things, because obviously there is a crisis and we have to keep our eye on that. But there's the problem of having to spend money to make money. You have to set off these long-term methods of development before they can actually come into action. So we were talking about finding an equilibrium between spending and also producing. We didn't come to a conclusion, I'm afraid, but we definitely think that experimenting between countries and seeing how they operate in terms of producing energy and spending money on energy development, you could find the most suitable difference between them.
The European Union, with the help of media, have to familiarize other members with what is happening across Europe, so we learn what is going on in Europe, become more aware of what the European Union does, and in particularly as citizens, we have to know what is happening worldwide, such as wars, economic crises, etc. Each one of us have to create and develop our critical thought, and by that I mean that we should not believe everything that is said by media, but we also have to search for the truth. If we don't do this, we will be manipulated and our beliefs will be fade. A way to fight all those problems is to communicate with each other and with the help of media to promote the interest between people. It is correct that we cannot dictate media, but we have the responsibility to find a way to, as I said before, fight those issues. Some of those are creating campaigns as active citizenships with whom we will raise funds or to convince others to join our work. With the raise of funds, we can also advertise all those subjects that affect humanity and try to get over them united. Also, TV channels can show more about people's problems so they can activate civilization in a much more positive meaning. As Jesse Scott said, people are sheep, TV is a shepherd.
You mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, that TV has a great influence and that the EU should use it as an advantage, right? But if politicians use media for their advantage, isn't that wrong? Media should be completely independent. And you just said that TV doesn't show us all that happens. And what do you think? Why does that happen? Because they're influenced by politicians.
Media should not be manipulated by the government. They have to work properly, and they have to work in advantage of their people.
Yeah, but how would EU use it as an advantage? I don't know, what did you mean by that?
By the past of years, EU have showed me things that are happening in here or in Brussels, in YouTube, Facebook. So if you do want to learn something, and you have to search there are ways, unless you want to do this.
So you think that all the politicians, including those in the European Union, want us to know all the things that happen in political world?
No, there are things that they want to hide from us because they want to fool us. So that's why we have to search more than one article, more than one source to believe what we have said.